Hi everybody, welcome to episode number 52 of my series of live guided walks through the city of light, Paris. I'm a full-time tour guide, blogger, photographer, and live streamer here. And if you can't be in Paris at this moment, then I'm going to bring it to you. And we're looking at a rather amputated Notre Dame here behind this gorgeous lamppost. Breaks my heart a little bit every time I see that, but they will rebuild it. I wonder how long it'll take. And we're in front of the Hotel de Ville. Hello everybody, welcome to number 52 of my live walks. We're starting in front of the City Hall, the Hotel de Ville here. Some of the best street lamps you'll find in town, that's for sure. And some Renaissance style gargoyles up there. Salut and bonjour, hello to everyone. Thank you for joining me live. And if you're not live right now, I guess you're listening on the replay. Thank you for that, welcome. I'm so glad to have you all here. Over 100 of you live so far, so my audience has officially arrived. Let's get started. It's a rather gloomy day. It's a temperamental day. I'm fighting through some... I had a little visit from the migraine fairy earlier today, and so I'm trying to push through that whole fog. And I'm going to do my best. I don't know if I'm firing on all cylinders today, but the show must go on. So here we go. Why am I in front of the Hotel de Ville? Well, this episode's actually going to focus on the street that extends from Hotel de Ville, known as the Rue du Temple, the street of the temple. But I'm at Hotel de Ville because I want to get a little bit closer. In a few days, this Wednesday, we're going to celebrate May 8th, which is the end of the Second World War. And it's a very big deal, of course, for many European cities, including Paris. And so on Wednesday, May 8th, we're going to celebrate the end of the war that heavily affected Paris. And here we're looking at some damage on the northwestern corner of Hotel de Ville. And I can feel the rain coming down. This might be an interesting episode today. But can you see that? That's actually tank damage from when the resistance took over this building in August of '44 to start liberating their city from the Nazis. And the Germans came through and fired on the corner here. And so there's some pretty extensive damage, all around. And I just wanted to start with that because I think it's very fitting, because May 8th is upon us almost. Now, if we pan across here, gorgeous statues, by the way, at the Hotel de Ville. If we pan around, I'm going to talk about that building in a moment, the department store, BHV. I know some of you are fans of that. But just back to the World War II history, in that building right there in front of us, I'm going to have to get my umbrella. That is where, in August of '44, the ceasefire trumpet was sounded to tell the French resistance and the Allies that the war was over, at least in Paris. The occupation was over, I should say. That was in August of... Hi. Hello. Hi. What's your name? You're French people, okay.
Yes, Noé Kenza.
You're on Facebook right now.
What?
C'est sur Facebook, live, en direct.
Okay. So,
You live here? Vous habitez ici?
oui.
D'accord.
Yes, yes.
Vous êtes parisienne alors?
Oui.
Super.
Dans les banlieues parisiennes.
D'accord. Très bien.
Ajoutez-moi sur Snap, Kenza-du-Valier.
Okay, merci. Au revoir. All right. As I was saying, they're not shy, those girls. Here we've got the trumpet was sounded to mark the ceasefire when the resistance and the Allies were fighting. Moi, je... French Frye. Attends. French. Oui, et Frye, c'est F-R-Y. Y-E. In, I-N.
Collé?
Non, I-N. Paris, Paris. French Fry in Paris, c'est moi. Okay, au revoir. They want to see themselves on Facebook. Anyway, am I ever going to finish this story? The trumpet was sounded here, ceasefire, and the occupation was officially over. And then the next year in 1945, May 8th, was the end. So, of the war, that is. BHV, let's cross while we can. This is one of the grand department stores, opened in 1912. 1912 was the same year as the Titanic. It was the same year as that beautiful glass dome at Galerie Lafayette. And it stands for, as you can make it out there, the Bazaar of the Hotel de Ville. And I want to tell you, on the fourth floor, I guess it would be the third floor for the French, but for us Americans at least, it would be the fourth floor up there, is a great cafe called Marais. And I want you to hang out at Marais and have a view from the window up there in the cafe, inside the store, looking out across Hotel de Ville. Stunning. All right, so this is all about the Rue du Temple. And let's get started. Yeah, the BHV here, people like it for a lot of reasons. One thing that comes in very handy is sometimes if you're looking for a hardware store and it can be tricky to find one in the center of Paris, then go to the basement of that department store and they got a really high-end, nice, fancy, and very useful, extensive hardware store. Look at this place. This name is funny. Yummy and guilt-free. They tell you exactly what's going on. If you want a very interesting gastronomic experience, they do waffles. They homemade waffles that are not only sweet but savory. So you can get Madagascar vanilla and salted caramel and all of that good stuff, chocolate of course, but you can get savory ones. Literally they do salmon, they do Thai chicken, they do Mexican waffles, and that's their specialty. You can see the waffles there. They do croque monsieur waffles, etc. Back out into the street here. Yummy and Guilt-Free is the name of that place. Hello, Bob, who's in Chicago. I see Kim Ball's name. I gave a tour to Kim Ball. She's one of our frites, the members of our community. And she gave me a lovely gift from Australia, a beautiful bottle of Australian wine, which is stunning. I've been enjoying that the last day and a half, Kim, so thank you. And a couple of koalas for my little girls. And our oldest adores her koala. Let me show you this over here. So on the Rue du Temple, everybody. What arrondissement are we in? We're in the 4th. This is the 4th arrondissement. And I want to show you not the back of that delivery van. I want to show you this wall garden. Right there. This is one of the unexpected little gems of this neighborhood. It's also part of the buildings of the BHV. And apparently there's a whole series of tubes attached to the wall that feed water and nutrients to the plants. I think it was installed in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is also BHV. You know, they got a huge complex here of these stores. This is for pets. This is a very high-end pet shop, pet supplies. If you ever thought to yourself, I'm not spending quite enough money on my dog. I want to up my dog budget, then you can certainly do it there. Here this gets a little narrow because what they're doing is they're installing a metro station. There's an existing metro line. I don't know if you can make it out down there. An existing metro line there, and they want to make a new entrance / exit. Can you see? It goes all the way down. Can you make it out there? Come on, camera. You can do it. You can do it. Ah, there we go. So it goes way, way down. Interesting to see what that's like when they're trying to construct a new metro station from scratch. Hi, Nina West. Next, I want to show you a real interesting lunch spot here. This place is called Pod, and it's pretty tucked away here on the Rue du Temple. You can see Pod stands for Parisian Omnivore District. And let me show you, it's relatively new. It's from 2017, and it claims to be the first Parisian food court. I guess it depends how you define food court. But what it has become is sort of an incubator for young chefs that want to do interesting things, particularly with exotic cuisine. So here, if you can make it out, it's a charming little space, pretty hip. They have these little stalls, these stands. And you can get Brazilian food, Italian food, Mexican, African. There's high-speed Wi-Fi here. That is a crêperie. And it's again attached to another BHV department store. There. Let me show you from this view. It's open 7 days a week, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you can come here for lunch or for an early dinner. And it's called Pod, the Parisian Omnivore District. There's a cute little photo booth there. That'll take vintage photos of you and your friends. Sort of Amélie style. And yeah, you can get some real interesting stuff. You'll pay for it. I mean, I got one of those pressed juices like apple, carrot, and ginger. It cost me €9. I mean, I guess I'm slightly healthier for it, so. But still. La da 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 da. All right, onward. Oh, there's someone named, how do you pronounce your name? Getty Haggins? Hello, she says it's the best part of her Saturday morning. I'm so glad. So if you're just joining me, we're on the Rue du Temple. This is the 52nd episode of my series of live tours. 4th arrondissement, just north of Hôtel de Ville. We've got a street art hub, but look at this one up here. Isn't that fun? It's a huge 3D relief of one of those Pac-Man ghosts. And in the little speech bubble it says, "Oh my ghost." Oh my ghost. And the artist has signed it there. Pixel Parasite is the name of the artist. Sorry, I can't zoom in for you, but. Okay, here, this section now, we're moving northward away from Hôtel de Ville. This is the center of the gay district of the Marais. So the rainbow vibe is all around. I want to show you a pretty door here. Let me try to back up. It's crowded on the street, of course. People are friendly today. They're in a good mood. So anyway, let me give you the top to bottom here. The street that we're on, the Rue du Temple, is the street of the temple, and a lot of people think that that might refer somehow to the Jewish community that's also in the Marais, you know, that's why the word temple is everywhere. But it's because of the Knights Templar. Northward, this street would have, originally in the Middle Ages, would have led to a huge complex that the Templars had built on the border of Paris. And they were rumored, of course, the Templars to have discovered the Holy Grail over in Jerusalem. And it was thought to be the source of their immense and mysterious powers and vast riches as well. Let me walk you over here. On a Saturday, this is really the hip spot to be here in the Marais. Look at that beauty. Can you make it out? That corner tower. The French would call that une tourelle. And it's indicative of what the architecture would have been in the Renaissance period. This is from 1610. Allez-y, c'est bon. 1610 was the year that our beloved king, I say our as if I'm French. I feel French after 9 years. But anyway, our beloved king, Henri IV, Henry IV, was assassinated. And there's a nice leftover of the building of the same year, 1610. Now, apparently by then there was a city ordinance that made it forbidden. In fact, it was illegal to build these overhanging towers on the corners of your home. But the architect and the owner here decided to not obey that law, and they built it anyway. This is the home of a surgeon for the royal court of Louis XIII. So anyway, this is a great glimpse of the medieval/Renaissance version of the Rue du Temple. And this place is just packed with cafes and shops. In fact, right down there, you can see there's a boulangerie. I can't show you what's in the window because it's a rather adult bakery. I don't know if you've heard of this or not, but if you come through here, we're on the Rue Sainte-Croix, Croix de la Bretonnerie. You can go in the window and see what kind of things they're concocting. No pun intended. And then over there is Flux. Here there's a series of design store, concept store that my wife really loves. And then what this is, we're not going to go down there, but that's Italy. Have you heard that there's a new Italy shop or restaurants installed? And that's what's right there, just beyond my meaty finger. So we've got Flux and we've got Italy and we've got that adult bakery, so to speak. And then over here on this corner, I can see all the laughing smileys that people posted. Some nice old signage. You know, I'm a sucker for old signs. And here we can see the modern sign, the big blue one, and then an interesting tiny one. And in fact, on this side here, we have the same style. Very rare to see street signs like that. But once you get used to a certain type of aesthetic, when you see something like that, you're like, oh, that's different, that's unique, and that must be rather old. And let me show you what also is rather old. Up on the corner, can you make it out? It might be kind of hard to see, but there in the center of your screen, there are some little cherub dudes. Some little cherub heads carved in there very subtly. What you would call putti. the French word, or one of them would be called a poutot. I just call them cherubs. Speaking of cherubs, let me show you a courtyard that has a beautifully sculpted one. Hope everyone's having a good day today. As usual, it's tough for me to read all of the comments. Clara Borge says adorable, I guess. I guess, Clara, you're either talking about the cherubs or you're talking about me. But either way, I'll accept that lovely comment. Here, we're at number 30 of the Rue du Temple. And we have these old courtyards that are rather industrial, I would describe them as. You know, they were for working class ateliers and manufacturers and factories. But if we spin around here, that's the cherub I was talking about. Let's try to find a composition here. There we go. Lovely. What's he doing? He's playing a tambourine there. So that's a nice quiet moment away from the crowds, and then this would have been a 19th century fountain. Quite often they couldn't pump water to the upper floors of these apartment buildings, so you'd have to come down with your bucket and fill it up with icy cold water and schlep them upstairs. And some cherub action, I guess, going on there too. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Maria Canzaneri says, now I know where I'm staying next time. Let me show you, by the way. People are living up here. Staircase. And I wouldn't want to rob you of the view of the spiral staircase, so let's try to pull that off. Something like that. Okay. Onward. There's a very cool courtyard coming up that I can't wait to share with you. I would consider this section of the Marais to be a part that people don't get as familiar with in general. So I'm happy to hopefully help some of you discover a few of the details in the overlooked addresses here. This place is really fun. It's called Café de Legar. So we're going to head there in a minute, but first, when you enter here at Café de Legar, do not miss that beauty. That's from the era of Louis the 13th. Sorry. It's not too flashy, but can't you just tell that it's deliciously old and rickety? Love that. So what's going on here? Why, for example, does this door have a Chopin sign? And why over here are there other composers listed? Because this is a very famous and very prominent dance school in this gorgeous, vast, former 17th century manor home. So you come in, and all around the courtyard there are classrooms, dance rooms, where they're learning 60 different disciplines of dance can be studied here. We're talking everything from ballet to tap to jazz to modern to anything, Indian, Oriental styles. That's a theater dead ahead, so they've got a working theater. Café de la Gare. This is a brasserie, sidewalk cafe type deal. There's always music coming out of the windows, which I love. You get this feel like it's a cultural center, but within the shell of this gorgeous 17th century home. What this spot used to be, this courtyard, we can hear tap dancing. I don't know if you can make that out. This used to be a coach and carriage inn, meaning that if you were a coach driver with your horses, you would come here and you would spend the night and park your coach here. Above my head here, I'm sure you can hear that tap dancing. Up here there would have been a wooden awning right here to protect the carriages that were parked in the courtyard. And then the horses The stables, this is very bizarre, but sometimes the stables would be underneath the courtyard. Let me show you. Today it's just a staircase that goes down in the basement, but this would have been a ramp that the horses, probably was larger at the time, but the horses would have been led up and down this ramp into the underground stables. Café de la Gare. Oh, this is cool. Let's admire this view of the bar through the window. Actually, not through the window. The door's open. Let's take a look. There we go. Lovely. Look at that original interior woodwork. Stunning. Wow. Maybe we're going to get caught. Bonjour. Excusez-moi. Non, je voulais pas vous déranger. Bonjour. Nice dining room. I like the tile work there too. So this, what a great bar. So let me show you this. Gorgeous. And then you can take a dance class afterward. Some of these classes are taught in English, so if you're interested in that, go ahead. And then let me show you this over on the side, what I like to do when I come and visit. I love to pop through this door here on the left because there's a gorgeous old staircase and a working piano. Look at this old signage that was painted a long time ago. So it's just oozing with culture and history and creativity. And again, all the rooms are named after composers to make it even cooler. Heather Jackson says, huge smile on my face. I'm glad, Heather. Love having you and James here. Hope James is with you. If not, I'm sure he'll catch the replay. Look at this. The staircase leads up to some other practice rooms, which we're not going to bother the dancers up there, but it's just, isn't it beautiful? It just wraps around. We're in the attic now. '17th century wood beams exposed here. Let's see what else is around. Here's a nice view. Can you hear the singer? So this is the Café de la Gare. They have a style of roofs called mansard roofs from the 17th century, very classic. I'm too curious, I gotta see what's going over here. It's like the end of the line, but we'll make our way back downstairs. But anyway, there you go. All that cobblestone goodness down there. Look at these beauties. Oh, man. If those beams could talk. Let me show this back down the staircase. Hey, Hassan Manning's in the house. Hey, buddy. Love to have you here, Hassan. I'm convinced Hassan is going to break big time into the act. I mean, he's already a brilliant actor, but I know he's busting his butt going to auditions in New York City almost every day. And man, I got high hopes for you, man. You're going to kill it. I know it. Okay. Hope you all enjoyed that. So again, here is a theater. Now let's make our way out.
I advise you to come and have that.
Okay, folks, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to do a private tour extension for my Patreon followers. If you're not familiar with that idea, you can find a link in the description of this video when the replay comes up on Facebook. And you can help support this project if you want to help me in my quest to find all these little details in these spaces and to share them with the world. That has been my obsession for the last few years. You can become a Patreon member and get a lot of perks, including what I do after each public episode. We do a private tour extension where you get to see more cool stuff. I'm going to show my Patreon folks, known as the Frites, I'm going to show them here my favorite coffee shop in this neighborhood. I'm going to show my favorite place for fondue. We're going to see a beautiful museum of Jewish history in the building that's in. And then we'll have a Café Chat with one of our own members of the community. And then who knows what will happen. So thanks, everybody. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode number 52 of the Rue du Temple in the Marais in the 4th arrondissement. And if you are one of my Patreon members, go ahead and pop over to our private Facebook group, and I'll wait a few minutes for you to get there, and we'll continue our stroll on this, what turned out to be quite a lovely Saturday. And I think that's about it. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. I'll catch you on the next one. And I think that's about all I want to say. So take care. Au revoir. À bientôt.